Hi guys, welcome to another Toy Box Collection toy review. Today we're going to take a look at something very special. Bandai's Robo Damashii Car Signature EXS Gundam from Gundam Sentinel. Now the reason why this Gundam is very special to me is because not only is it one of my favorite mobile suit designs, I also had the S Gundam HG model kit as a kid. Unfortunately, being a dumbass kid, I left it on the floor one night and my grandma stepped on it. Her feet were fine, but my Gundam was pretty much destroyed. Although not exactly the same Gundam, having this amazing piece of art in my hands now brings back a lot of memories. So let's get into the review and see just how amazing this guy is. And here's the packaging for EXS Gundam. It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. And the packaging itself is very nice. Lovely photo of the Gundam in the front and silver foiled lettering makes it look very premium indeed. And moving around to the side, you've got silver foil lettering again and a photo of the Gundam. Same on the top, very nice foil lettering there, and same on the bottom, and on the other side exactly the same. So it's pretty much the same artwork on all four sides of the box, but it's very nice artwork. And on the back you've got the GFF style type of drawing there and more photos of the figure inside. And here's the inside of the box. Everything is very nicely laid out, well protected in the trays. And I just noticed that they've even put a cardboard kind of a support around the tray so it doesn't crumble into itself. And here are the accessories that the EXS Gundam comes with. He comes with 2 fuel tanks, which were originally attached to the figure in the box, but I've taken them off. He gets 2 filler pieces for the arm armor, where the fuel tank pegs into. He gets 4 optional pairs of hands. There's a pair of beam rifle holding hands, a pair of kind of open grasping type hands, a pair of beam saber holding hands, and a pair of relaxed open palm hands. And he comes with the beam rifle, which I will show you in a little bit more detail in a minute. Comes with this backpack with super nice detail and articulation, and these I guess they're like beam guns. I'm not exactly sure what they're called. Laser guns maybe. He gets 2 pairs of beam sabers, and he gets 2 incoms on wires for his feet and 1 for the head. And he comes with 6 of these little round bits that you can wrap the incom wires around to simulate them twisting in space. And he also comes with a display stand and a connector piece for the display stand. Now this display stand is more reminiscent of the metal build design and a little bit of the GFF style, rather than a standard like a Bandai Damashii stand or stands that we've been getting with other Robo Damashii releases. With the fuel tank, it came attached to this armor piece, which simply plugs in. There's a peg in there and there's a hole there, so it's a little bit hard to get back into, so I'm just going to leave it off for now. And with the beam sabers, these come apart, and the beam saber handle can be stored in the knee part of the EXS Gundam, sorry, and that goes up and down like that. And let's take a closer look at the beam rifle itself. It's very well detailed. There's a few things you can do with this thing. You can extend it so it becomes longer. The sensor parts on the top can rotate, and you can actually take it off. It's just pegged on. And the handle can rotate from side to side as well, so it makes it easier for the Gundam to hold this massive gun. There's also this back extension piece which flips out. Not exactly sure what this does. does that. And then obviously the arm that kind of attaches the gun to the Gundam. It's got a lot of articulation points and very well designed so that hides in there when it's not connected to the Gundam. And everything on the sensors are very well detailed, very nicely painted. And while not strictly an accessory, here is the backpack for the EXS Gundam. It is very, very nicely made, super detailed, lots of tempo markings there. There's a few things you can do with this guy as well, and I'll just show you quickly. So the boosters, they can rotate up like that, and then they can obviously swing in and out as well. And then this thing at the back, I'm not exactly sure what this is again, rotates up and down, so that's really cool. And these arms obviously can rotate as well. And the boosters, the lower half of them, they can turn out like that, so that's pretty cool. Each of these flaps can move individually, and the verniers are also articulated on a ball joint. And they're very, very nicely painted, very well detailed. Even the tip of this back piece is painted in. And these things obviously can rotate, they're on ball pegs, so that's really nice. With the incom pieces, again, very nicely detailed. I'm not going to actually put it on the figure, but I'll just show you quickly on the instruction sheet how it's done. So there's one for the head, and then two that goes into the knee pieces, like that. The backpack simply plugs into the back of EXS Gundam, and it stays in there very, very nicely. Not loose at all, and it's not too back heavy. It looks like a lot of material in the back, but it's actually quite light, so it doesn't make the figure want to tilt backwards all that much, which is really great. And to attach the beam rifle to the figure, Bandai has done something very smart. Instead of having to swap pieces out, this connector piece on the crutch simply unplugs, you rotate it around, and it exposes a peg hole. And then you pop this back on, and that becomes the connection point for the beam rifle. Just extend the arms out and just get it in place first. And while we're here, let's just slip the hand on. So the hand goes on pretty easily, like so. And then simply plug the rifle into the crutch piece. Oops. Just make sure the peg goes all the way in, and it stays in there very securely. And now you can maneuver the arm around to hold onto the handle of the rifle and just plug everything in place. And that's it. Now with the display stand and the connector piece, this goes onto the back of EXS Gundam like that, and you can plug the figure in like so. And the display base itself, there's a few things you can do as well. I'll just take the Gundam off. Oh, actually, I should leave it on. You can extend this piece and lock it in place, just like the metal build. And I think that's probably about it. Oh, actually, you can change the angle as well. So you unlock it down here, and then you can change the angle of the tilt of the stand, which is pretty cool, and you lock it back up so it doesn't slide down. And at the top here, there's a little button you can push. This allows you to change the angle of this peg and lock it in place so it doesn't slide around as well. Here's a closer look at the figure. and all of its little amazing detail. The head sculpt is absolutely beautiful. It is spot on, perfect. There's a lot of little printed detail on the figure, very tidy. And there's also like a digital camouflage thing happening with the blue, which is beautiful. On the side armor here as well, you can see the different tones of blue. Moving around to the back, everything is beautifully painted. Just have a look at the verniers here, even the inside and the bottom where people don't actually see it is painted nicely. The detailing is super sharp. Spinning around to the front again, you can see the detail in those sensors on the beam rifle. It is pretty amazing. And coming down to the legs, again more detail there. Very sharp sculpting, although I'm sure this is not sculpted. I'm sure this is made from a digital file, but nonetheless it is quite amazing. And there are metal parts on this figure, just not on the outer armor. So all of the metal is in the joints. So he's got metal elbow joints, metal shoulder joints. There is metal in the hip joints, but it's not solid metal. There's plastic parts in there too. And on the knee joints it's metal as well. So all of the critical joints are made of metal, which is great. This means that this figure will last for a very long time. The shoulders, they actually can slide out and expand, and this piece here lifts up. So there's a shoulder armor gimmick here, and same on the other side. Just flip that open like so. And these fins, they don't slide to expand. You have to unplug it, and then you can choose how far you want to extend the wing, and then plug it back on. So with articulation, these fins on the top, they can pivot up and down, and they can also rotate all the way around, so that's handy. And then the head can extend up and go up that far, and look down a little bit. Also tilts from side to side a little bit and all the way around, so very good neck joint there. On the shoulders, obviously rotates, but it doesn't go all the way around. It stops there and there. Or actually, it can go all the way around if you get these pieces out of the way. And there's also a bit of a butterfly joint there, and you can lift up his arms that far. And the shoulder and the armor pieces are actually independent. So the shoulder is on a ball joint there and a pin, so it can move independently of the big shoulder pads. These pieces also move up and down that far, and it can also bend there and rotate all the way around, and can also bend in like that. There's a bicep swivel there, which is quite tight, so you have to pinch the shoulder to get it to rotate. Double jointed elbows gives you that much of a bend, which is awesome. and it is quite tight, so you have to kind of hold the other side to get it to bend. And the wrist is a ball joint, so decent amount of movement there. And moving to his abs, there is an ab crunch just above the diaphragm, or at the diaphragm, so you can crunch his body that far forward and that far back. And there's a ball joint at the waist, so it can also go side to side like this. And these pieces on the side, they can also go up, come out, go all the way around, and basically point in any which direction you want it to. So that's cool. And on the back, these fins move up and down like this, and yeah, no side to side motion, just up and down rotation. And then moving down to his thighs, he can do that much of a split, which is awesome. Again, he can lift up his leg that far and back, not too far, that far back. And you can also kind of butterfly his legs, so there's a butterfly joint there for the legs. And there's no thigh rotation up here, but it's on top of the knee. There's a bit of a rotation, so you can do these ones. And obviously these knee pieces move out of the way like so. And there's also double jointed knee bend, which gives him, it's very tight again, so you have to be careful. Very nice bend there at the knees, and you'd notice when you're bending the knees, the armor pieces kind of expand out, which is really cool. And moving down to his ankles, I think these are on a ball joint. There's also a hinge joint there inside, so you get really good movement there, up and down. It's a little bit hindered by the armor pieces in the back, but it's good enough range. And you can also do a bit of feet pivot, and there is a bit of a toe joint, but it doesn't move very far, but you can see there is a pin right in there, so I can do these ones. First up is the first release in the Metal Robo Damashii series, Hainu Gundam. Here he is with Robo Damashii Hyakushiki. Here he is with GFFN Strike Rouge Gundam. And finally, here he is with Marvel Legends Cyclops. Having this guy immortalized in the Metal Robot Damashii series feels like a dream come true. He is superbly detailed, super articulated, and expertly painted. I honestly could not find a single fault with this toy. For me, this toy is easily a top contender for best toy of the year, and I can't wait to see the next release in the series. I highly recommend this toy for any Gundam fan. Even if you're not a fan, this is the perfect piece to start your collection. And that concludes my review of the Metal Robo Damashii Car Signature EXS Gundam. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys next time for another toy review.